Good morning. I'll call the meeting to order of the Senate Fed and State Affairs Committee. First of all, I'd like to take just a moment of personal preference and say thank you to all that have filled in for my absence. First of all, Connie has done a great job keeping us straight, I hope, and I think we have. And then Vice Chair, I've done a great job filling in, and also Senator Longbine. I think he took over one day, and we definitely appreciate that. So thank you very much. First of all, ask, is there any bill introductions? Yes, Senator Ware.
I have a bill concerning elections. The RS number is 0654.
Are there any questions? Any objections to turning this in? Seeing none, bill will be introduced. Thank you. So our agenda this morning, we have a confirmation reappointment hearing, and we're going to have a briefing from the Kansas Human Rights Commission. We have Executive Director Ruth Glover here, and Ruth, if you'd come forward and tell us a little bit about the Human Rights Commission.
Good morning.
To the public. We have a two-prong approach to achieving our mission. First of all, we receive complaints of discrimination, we investigate them, and we work to resolve them. And secondly, we do public outreach in the hopes that if people can learn what discrimination and harassment are, then it can be prevented in the future. In fiscal year 2020, we received 911 complaints of discrimination, and we resolved 943 complaints of discrimination. As far as the commission board, in the statute, it sets forth that we have 7 members on our commission board. 2 represent industry, 2 represent labor, 1 represents real estate. There's a practicing attorney slot and one at-large slot also. As far as Commissioner Kane, he was first appointed to the Kansas Human Rights Commission in 2013. He represents labor. He retired from United Auto Workers, General Motors after 35 years of service. He works for the Construction and General Labor's Local Union 1290 in Public Affairs. And he also serves on the Unified Government Board of Commissioners for the Wyandotte County, Kansas City, Kansas. He has excellent attendance. He promptly turns in determinations on cases that are assigned to him. When he provides input, it's thoughtful and very helpful. I'd be glad to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you very much. Is there any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, when you were gone, I almost thought I was going to get to chair the committee eventually. Good morning, Ruth. So you mentioned that you sometimes have presentations to explain what these discrimination issues are. So what does that look like for you? I mean, you know, I'll be honest, Mr. Chairman and colleagues, after Black Lives Matter and those issues, I remember once here in the building, you know, we had a sexual a requirement to attend some meetings to understand what that looks like. And you know, I guess one good thing about COVID, Mr. Chairman, is that we can't hug anymore. you know, because I wasn't sure what we could do, but I had thought, you know, of presenting to the legislative services, to the governor, to the president of the Senate and Speaker of the House, that we have some type of trainings so that we would identify what racial discrimination or injustices that we were seeing the last year. But what does that look like to you? Is that offered to the public? Are you going around and sharing that? Because I think sometimes people, even myself, don't really know what that is or defines that. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Last year in fiscal year 2020, we trained just a little under 11,000 individuals. Now, the primary source of training was our online program, our harassment prevention program, and I don't remember right off the top of my head how many individuals actually used the online training. But it's been very successful. We always get positive feedback on the online training. Okay.
And Mr. Chairman, if Ruth could just email me at least that information so that I can share that with people, because Mr. Chairman, I did have people, my Caucasian colleagues even were calling me and saying, oh, I didn't realize this, or, you know, I'm sorry for that. And some things I didn't know. And so if you could email me that information so I can share it with constituents and others so that they could do the online deal, would be appreciated. Thank you.
We also do an inappropriate and inclusive workplace behavior training, and we were offering that in person. We are also offering it through webinars, and with the coronavirus, we did have some cancellations. But this year, it seems like employers and employees are more receptive to having the online training, and so we've been doing webinars pretty steady since probably July or August with the inappropriate behavior and the inclusive workplace training. And that's really geared towards harassment in the workplace. And then it also addresses other behavior that may not rise to the level of harassment, but it still doesn't belong in the workplace. And then we also do like a KHRC overview. And then if there are individuals or organizations that want something specifically tailored to them, if they have a specific situation in their workplace or a specific constituency, we are glad to modify those presentations to address whatever they need. For example, we had an organization that the individuals that they served were immigrants. And so when we did the presentation, we did a lot of discussion about national origin and religious discrimination.
Thank you. Is there any other questions? Seeing none, thank you very much for being here today. Next on the agenda is a confirmation reappointment hearing for Mr. Michael Kane. He's the labor representative for the Kansas Human Rights Commission. And it's a 4-year term, and term ends in January 5th, 2025. Each of you have been given a packet in your office. I hope you brought it back today. If you didn't, we can get it back later. Looks like this, so just make sure you can see it. And that's on information on Mr. Kane. Are there any questions about Mr. Kane? Any discussion? Yes, Senator Hilbrand.
I'm guessing Mr. Kane isn't here either virtually or in person?
That is correct, and he's not required to attend this hearing.
I understand they're not required, but it'd kind of be interesting. Thank you.
Any other questions? And so, yes, Senator Longbottom.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If you're ready for a motion, I'd be happy to provide one.
We are.
I would move that we move Michael Kane's reappointment to the full Senate for the term which expires January 5th, 2025. What? January 15th? Okay.
You've heard a motion. Do I have a second? Second by Senator Ware. Any further discussion? All in favor? Yes, wait a minute, Senator Ware?
Yeah, I just want to say that I don't know Mr. Kane well, but I have encountered him in several situations, and I found him to be a really caring, thoughtful, down-to-earth kind of fellow.
Thank you very much for that comment. Any other comments? No other comments? Ask for a vote. All in favor? Opposed? Confirmation his reappointment hearing is confirmed, and we'll be recommending him to the full Senate for confirmation. Thank you very much. Next on the agenda, that's all we have for today. However, tomorrow we have an agency presentation by the fire marshal. They're required to come in every year and give their presentation, as well as the Kansas Emergency Medical Service Board. And so they'll be coming in, Mr. Doug Jorgensen from the State Fire Marshal and Joe House from the Emergency Medical Service Board. And at this time, I do not have anything scheduled for Thursday. Is there anyone that has any agenda item they'd like to add for Thursday? So if I don't see anything on Thursday, we will probably not have a meeting on Thursday and Friday. And so I would ask that Senator Hildebrand make that announcement on the floor tomorrow. We can do something. Other than that, oh, yes, Senator.
I'm sorry, are we here tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay.
As we have two hearings tomorrow. Yeah. So, and we do have a full agenda next week. We'll be talking about, well, there's several things. One of the things this year that Ways and Means has done to us and for us is have us review the Lottery Commission and their budget, and then we will be submitting our recommendation for the Lottery Commission and Gaming and Racing to the Ways and Means, and that is scheduled on the 19th. So we'll be submitting that on the 19th. We have a hearing, I believe it is on the 16th for the Lottery and Gaming. And we'll hear that and hear what their budget request is and make a recommendation to go to the full Senate, or full Ways and Means Committee. So if there's nothing else, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.